I figured some of you might ask that question. I have been traveling for the most part of 2018 and also for the most part of 2019. Now I'm back for a few months and the question currently does not really seem to be where will I go next, but when will I be able to go? When will we all be able to go out again? It's April 1st and the world currently is somewhat of a weird place. What a crazy situation, right? And we're all in it. Yet I'd like to point out that the question definitely is not if we will travel again. We will definitely travel again. That will happen, for sure. The currently really interesting question rather is, how will we travel after all this is over? How will traveling change in 2020? And before I get into that, into my thoughts and ideas, because let's be honest, no one really knows what will happen. We probably don't even know what will happen the next day. Though, every time you will face the word or hear the word or speak out the word crisis, God, that's such a pain in the ass, and I don't like hearing it because I don't really feel like there already is something like a crisis, and maybe that's because my perception is a little bit different. The word crisis we use today derives from the Greek word, also crisis, surprisingly, but it formerly meant to choose or to decide, which is why some of the people around you might tell you things like, every crisis also holds an opportunity. That's not made up. This is actually where the word is coming from. And if you look back at how we faced a crisis and how we remember them today, I mean, it's interesting, let's say that. And I don't want to go back to like the worst crises we ever had, but if you think about the SARS epidemic, I have to say I might be uneducated or badly informed. And the financial crisis in 2008, I just had a call with my best buddy yesterday and we both remember it and we know that times weren't good, but I don't really feel it today. So every time you hear the word crisis or you even want to speak it out, just remember it's actually time for change. Now let's get back to traveling. The first idea I'd like to mention is I think that traveling will get more domestic. Short trips and road trips might be way more common than actually flying somewhere, and we might use the train way more often and in general just choose closer destinations. The reason for all that is that even if we return back to our normal everyday lives, like with open shops, businesses, restaurants and all that, everything we're missing, and even having more close but still distant social contacts, I'm not so sure if we will open up the borders so fast again, which doesn't sound too exciting if I put it that way, but I actually like that. Now, after I've been traveling some parts of the world, I realized throughout that time how little I have visited my own country and how little I know about my own country and the destinations that are maybe worthwhile visiting. So I'm actually stoked to explore those and to take the time to do that. And you know, you don't have to take that much of a flight, there's no jet lag. Actually, there's a lot of positives to that. And even when we open up the borders again, I think a lot of people, I mean, you see it, like, people go nuts buying toilet paper and pasta. Is the pasta thing an international thing, or is that just a German thing? Buying pasta like you're... Anyway, but I think and believe that a fair amount of people might be afraid to travel further distances, so they like actually to stay closer to home in case something like that whole situation may reoccur or anything like that. And I think it will take a little bit of time until people get comfortable again traveling further. That being said, a good thing actually might be that some local economies, if not all of them, might experience some kind of renaissance. There are a lot of economies, a lot of destinations that actually rely heavily on tourism, though that actually not being a real opportunity or not even being an option in the next months, they might find other ways how they can locally, domestically make money. And once they find a way, they might actually figure out that they don't need tourists and tourism as much as they thought they do. Over-tourism has not only become a problem for destinations all over the world, but it has become actually pretty stressful and unenjoyable for us tourists and travelers. Essentially meaning that while all this is happening, they might figure out a way how to deal with this whole situation and install it now. And we later on might figure out how much we like that. Less crowded places, cleaner places, and everything that has somehow be kind of dull and boring and stressful becoming enjoyable and special again. One more thing that I find quite interesting and I'm kind of questioning is what will happen to planes? What will happen to flying? Where will this all go? What will happen to the aviation industry? Because my guess is that they will probably suffer the most from everything that is currently happening. I mean, if you go back to it, like essentially the spreading of this mess, of this whole corona mess, happened because of traveling, because of that hypermobility we have, because of that ability to cross half the planet within less than a day. And I'm kind of questioning, like, will flying get more expensive? Will it become some kind of luxury again? And if you'd like to travel, you have to actually take the train, the bus, or you just won't be able to travel to further distances unless you don't have the extra money for it? Or will it actually get super cheap so that people get hooked again and start traveling like crazy and we will get back to normal as soon as possible? And to be honest, I'd prefer the first option. We've been going nuts with traveling and flying the last years. I have done that myself, kind of, and we've already tried to get it somehow under control, not let it take over, but there's so many people out there that just went like, let's travel the world in half a year. 30 countries and counting. Like, these things have become so fucking meaningless. Traveling used to be something incredible, something really special, and now it has just become kind of fast food adventure. It seems like there's almost no real adventure out there. There's no real taking your time, taking time off, taking half a year or a year off. For some people it's like, oh my god, that's incredible, that's so much, but is it? Is it really? How much of a sacrifice is that for an adventure you're gonna remember your lifetime? Now remember again the meaning of the word crisis. Currently, a lot of what is happening is more or less directed by the government telling us what to do and what not to do. But this currently is also a chance to, well, not dictate, but at least let politics, government, everyone in charge know what we actually want. I've already said it. I want you to travel. I want everyone to travel. I want everyone to go out there and not only have a good time, but actually have some real experiences. Not go out there and see a place within a week or two and then go back and forget everything within a matter of a month, maybe, if not days. But I'd like actually people to go out and really get into contact with different cultures and experience things that trigger inner change, that sustainably do something to your brain, to your soul, to everything who you are as a person. I'd love that to see. And I'd actually love you to have more time for that. I mean, see what's currently all happening, like working remotely, working digitally, having meetings you need to have via Skype or phone, or like all that. If you're anything like me, if your country is anything like ours, all that suddenly, all of a sudden, flawlessly is working. But for the last years has been criticized so heavily that it's not the same and we've always done it differently and that's just not how things work, but they work. It actually works. Why shouldn't it be possible for you to work remotely from all over the world? Why is being digital nomad such a prestige, just something for very special people, when we all know how to use a computer, how to use an internet connection, and we pretty much can do our work or most of our work from all over the world? And for all those people who actually can't, why not compensate them with more holiday time? Why not compensate all those people that are currently working their asses off so that we get groceries, we get our food, we get our bread and butter, and we get our healthcare and treatment and all that? Why not compensate those people with more time? Wouldn't that actually be fair? Wouldn't that actually be a worthwhile change? Wouldn't that be something a crisis should be about? Wouldn't that be something you'd like to see? Wouldn't that be something we should change? I went on somewhat of a rant here, but I won't apologize. It's just how I feel, it's just how it's looking inside of me currently, and it already has for some time. Thanks so much for listening and thanks so much for watching. I will continue to upload regular travel content and share a little bit of what we are all missing, but also a video like this might pop up once in a while where I share kind of the collective experience we all are going through. I hope you're good, I hope you're safe, you're healthy, your family is, and everyone, your country, and I hope we will see each other soon. Just a matter of time. We will get through this. Just a matter of time. Keep your head up. Hugs and drugs, love and madness. Peace!